So let's talk about A Plague Tale: Innocence. Developed by Adobo Studios, I think... Wait, what? What do you mean it's the wrong name? What's the difference? 7 out of 10. And that's because I love survival horror games. You see, growing up, I wasn't allowed to really watch that much scary stuff with my family. I remember once they kicked me out of the living room because they wanted to watch this movie about a woman having a prolonged asthma attack. But now...
I am a man.
When I turned around 13, I got into games like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Alan Wake, Dead Space. I couldn't get enough. And it's been a decent amount of years since anyone's put out a survival horror game on console that was also an original IP. So you can bet I was going to be all over it. Asobo was founded in 2002, worked on multiple third-party games and 2 games on the Microsoft HoloLens in 2016, making them the first developers to create games using holographic technology. So pushing Wall-E and Connect Rush aside, that's some of the coolest shit I had never heard of. I mean, it was 2016. I was playing that Doom. But jokes aside, after 2 years of development, in 2019 they released their first major IP, A Plague Tale: Innocence. This game better get a franchise, that's all I'm saying. A Plague Tale: Innocence? A Plague Tale... Guiltinence? The first time I got wind of it was on Facebook of all places, where I saw a gameplay trailer that showed me this.
I'm sorry! We have to get out!
Amicia!
Come on, this way!
I want it. I didn't know what to expect, but I could not wait. Although it was a bit predictable, the game does deliver a somewhat decent story. And I say somewhat decent because the story is conceptually interesting, being a mixture of a real-world event from the 14th century known as the Black Plague or the Black Death.
That filth would attack our children in their beds and gave them the black thing!
And it tries to tell an original story within that as an attempt to explain it, but it's half-baked. We start off with our heroes being 15-year-old Amicia and her little piece of shit 5-year-old brother Hugo.
Are you stupid or what?
I am not stupid!
Don't shout!
Children, that's enough noise.
The two find themselves being chased by the Inquisition and rats for reasons revealed later on. But in short, Hugo's got that good blood. So the rats are like, give me some of that good shit. Yeah! And the church is like, nah. You guys are causing this. You guys to go. But overall, that's pretty much all you need to know because the story falls flat towards the end. It doesn't fully explain nor explore any of the concepts it creates around the main character. For me, the game had suddenly ended as if a page was torn out, and it definitely shows. Hey you. Yeah? You're a bitch. Wait, that's it? There is a bit of afterstory that I won't spoil. But it's honestly disappointing because the game is plot driven. It contains all the necessary components for a perfect story, except an ending. So A Plague Tale does something very rare, in the sense that it lends itself to multiple genres. If you look at the wiki, it's described as an action, adventure, horror, stealth game. It's like the only thing it's missing is a battle royale mode. Breaking down each individual aspect of gameplay, I realized you can pretty much play the game however you want, which adds a layer of control and believability to the characters. This isn't just some shooter where your only power is a Glock. The devs tried to push the idea that you're a person who can and will learn to adapt to the situation by doing whatever they can, and it comes across pretty well. Amicia begins to learn more about alchemy from the friends she makes throughout the game, which unlocks new things for you to craft, which then changes how you'll enjoy the game. You don't want to sneak past that guard? Fuck it, just kill him. You're not helpless. And this is why the game finds itself in so many different categories. Depending on how you choose to play, the adventure can be a terrifying horror experience or an action-packed bloodbath. By the end of the game, I was so jacked because of the upgrade system that I went from stealth survival horror. Go away.
I heard a noise.
Now check it out.
Watch yourself.
Yeah, you do that. I was never here.
No, nothing there.
To action adventure. Okay, come on. Come on. Fuck you. Shit.
Believe it. Hey! Come back! Come back!
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Play that.
Okay. No. Stop! And to top it all off, there's a magnificent soundtrack and sound design that comes with a heavy Game of Thrones vibe. And I think that's pretty cool. So when it comes to games that are story-driven, the player is often subjected to constant scripted events. These are sequences that will play out no matter what in the way that they are programmed to. Typically, where all control is taken from the player and they're forced to run away or sneak past a certain segment in a specific way, only to wind up running some more. It works well in a lot of games as a way to build tension and can make you go,
Jesus Christ!
but I'm sorry, I don't think it works well here. I mean, Amicia opens a locked door from the outside, lets it gently swing shut without locking it, and yet...
It won't hold them for long.
Yeah, you'd think? But the enemies aren't able to get in until the player unlocks the door from the opposite side of the house. Do any of y'all know how doors work? The player's never truly in danger during these segments, which takes me out of the experience. Like, watch this.
A dead end. We've finished.
Don't be afraid. Come in.
No, wait. Are we even being chased? Like, if I can't be yeeted at any time, then doesn't that take the tension away? Another thing I disliked was the fact that things slow down a little too often. There's several obligatory stealth segments, trailing missions, and fucking box puzzles. God forbid we have to deal with fucking box puzzles. Adobo? Nobody likes these, and you had 30 years of gaming history to figure that out, so I'm sorry, but I'm taking away your gold star. During each individual chapter, Amicia is traveling with one or two of the other main characters, which lead up to the player having to think differently and utilize each of the different characters' skills to get by. Or so you'd think. They don't do anything that you don't tell them to do, and they often feel one-dimensional because of this. Unless you're ordering them to pull a lever, wait in place, or use their specific skill, they primarily just follow you around, turning the whole game into a broken escort mission. And I say broken because the enemies only attack your allies when they're left alone. That's the only time they're vulnerable. But when they're with you, they're pretty much invisible, which means... So yeah, a lot of the time I forgot they were even there. Most of them are pretty bland in terms of personality too, except for this guy, Roderick, because he's a serial killer.
That one's for you. Cover me. The count.
You don't
to tell me twice. Perfect. I thought he'd be tougher to take down. He won't be getting up anytime soon. Trust me. I wouldn't like to have been on the end of that.
I'd like you all to think about this question. What's the difference between a survivor and a killer?
Wow. Do you do that a lot?
No, but I'm starting to like it.
I'm in danger.
Just look at his eyes. He's like, "I'll fucking do it, man. Just give the order. I'm not going back to jail." But everyone else is just, I am smart. I am thief. I am thief but girl. They come off as stale mostly and didn't add too much to the story for me personally.
He will save you. They always end up saving us. Even if, you know, brothers. Sometimes you just want to kill them.
Let me know if you feel otherwise. So it's nothing new if you've been paying attention by now. The human AI is kind of trash.
Ready.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power!
Why are you running? Why are you...
The enemies are ridiculously dumb, but I like that in this case because their dialogue and willingness to just quit made up for it. I kept constantly messing with them just to hear how they'd react.
Why am I still looking? There's no one here. Do it all horizontal.
It's the second time. I need to see this.
Doing this, however, triggered the occasional bug.
What was that?
Okay, you stay.
Not move!
Oh shit, they actually listen.
He's right on top of me, but I can't see him. What's he doing?
He's just standing there. Menacingly!
Okay, can I just grab Hugo?
Wait!
But I never felt underpowered or stuck on one particular part of the game. Seeing as how easy it was to navigate around enemies, I just chose to act stupid. However, the real reason most people even bought the game was to see the rats. And I gotta say...
I'm afraid.
They're pretty terrifying. They swarm up and present two types of encounters. You've got terrifying...
Amicia, look how they're drawn to them.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you.
And goofy looking. Either way, I enjoyed myself. Nothing ever made me want to quit or give up, and that's what every game should strive for. So right off the bat, I want to say the Plague Tale is a beautiful experience. Everything about the visuals and sound design is amazing. Like, had I not taken the time to do so, I never would have known that they animated the tapestries to flow with the wind. It's such a minute detail that they could have skipped out on it, and no one's experience would have changed. Like, clearly they put a lot of love into the graphical side of things, and I'd say it's one of the best looking games on the system. Especially considering there's as many as 5,000 rats on screen sometimes, along with other enemies and NPCs, and not once did my game ever crash or lag, so consider me impressed. As far as photo mode goes, I use that shit to cheat a lot, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I wasn't sure of what was around the corner, I just paused and... let me just see here. Yep. Yeah, alright, we're good. It was also really cool to just squeeze out of the environment and see the overall map. I have a small background with programming, so I find the technical side of things just as fascinating as everything else. I only have one complaint though. When you include a photo mode, you may want to consider giving players the option to change the character's facial expressions or poses. And I bring this up because I use it during my playthrough a lot, and all of my shots came out like...
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost. The comrades I've lost. Won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still there. You feel it too, don't you? I'm gonna make them give back our past.
I think A Plague Tale's got great graphics, sound design, and gameplay, but it falls flat on level design, storytelling, and doesn't have many likable characters. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Sorry if I use too many memes in this one. I typically like to have my footage speak for itself, and normally I have people that are close to me come and look at what I've put together before I consider anything to be finished. But I didn't do that this time, I just rolled with it. If you'd like me to review another game, just pop that in the comments down below. Let's see what happens. Stay hydrated, I love you.